I represent here Alice. We are, I think we're going to give a slightly different point of view of what's going to happen with 5G. We are dedicated to news broker services around the world. We have offices in 9 countries, and we are part of Lavinia Group, a much bigger company that does many other things, but we were mostly dedicated to new broker services until now. And I'm going to try to explain why. So I'd like to start with one picture. One single picture that I think explains a lot. This picture was taken in Madrid a year ago. It was just in front of the National Parliament. And as you can see, there are 3 different teams conducting the live connections at the same time. The team on the left is conducting the news coverage in a traditional way. So it's a big team, more or less, 4 or 5 people. The cameraman, of course, the journalist, the lighting equipment, and probably they're using satellite connectivity. The second team on the center, they have evolved a little bit. They have embraced the 4G technology. So they are just 2 people, the cameraman and the journalist, and they are using probably a 4G backpack in order to do their connection. The third, so to speak, team is just one journalist, as you can see. She's using just one smartphone and 4G technology. So this is happening so fast that it's actually happening at the same time. And this is far from being an isolated topic. This is the inside of the media press area inside the council building. I took this picture almost a year ago as well. As you can see, this is one of the most busy events in the world for media. So there are thousands of broadcasters and press media. So as you can see on the right side, they are the traditional broadcasters conducting their live connections. But if you pay attention, there are already a lot of broadcasters downstairs already doing their connections with a smartphone. They can do this here because there's good Wi-Fi, of course, and it's reliable. But last time I was there, it was nearly, I would say, 30% of the broadcasters were already doing their live connections via smartphones and tablets, as you can see. So just for giving you an idea of what this means for a broadcast services provider like us, let me explain you a little bit to the detail. So a live connection, let's say an average 15-minute slot of live connection in Europe, if you are any given broadcaster and you need to do it from anywhere else apart from your country and you contact us, it would have cost around 2,000 euros using satellite technology, a DSNG, and a traditional team. This was 7 years ago, only 7 years ago. A couple of years later, there was the 4G technology already here. So you could do a 15 minutes live connection slot with a 4G backpack, and you just pay 700 euros. All right, now, if you do it with a smartphone, the cost would be around 200 euros, if not 0, in case the journalist is not a freelancer. And this is going to boost with the 5G. According to the IHS, the 5G economy will represent more than $12 billion a year. And as you can see, the information and communication industry is expected to be one of the most affected by that. So far from adopting a pessimistic point of view, which could be expected from a broker services provider, we have decided to embrace the change This is unstoppable. And actually, it's very interesting what can happen. So what are we going to do? We're going to apply a very, very intense diversification, basically based on 3 points. The first one, the new players. What's going to happen when the 5G arrives in Europe? I think it is expected to arrive in a year or so. What's going to happen with all these new players that they're not so used to manage with live video in their online platforms? Now it's going to be easier than ever, cheaper than ever, faster than ever. So what's going to happen with probably traditional press media in their online platforms? Now, really, they can achieve a huge amount of live broadcasts that they probably couldn't until now, because it's really going to boost with the 5G. Focus on what will survive. We think this is very important. Actually, we are about to launch a new platform in order to connect freelancers around the world with broadcasters. This is because we think that, given that the 5G is going to provide a very easy connectivity, probably the international operations are going to be managed inside the traditional, in-house, the traditional broadcasters. This is because, of course, it will be less and less profitable for services provider like us. This means that they're going to have, especially for breaking news, to get in a very fast way to freelancers, both cameramen or freelancers, or journalists, sorry, in faraway countries. So why not to create a big platform in which you can connect both and they can get to the possibility of conducting a live connection in any volcano that just started now in a very fast way. And finally, content. We are working very, very close together with Lavinia. We are very used to produce content in Spain and Europe, but then we can bring the know-how, the international know-how that we have, thanks to our more than 25 years in news, in order to find ways of production and co-production for content all around the world. And in this way, I'd like to show you a brief video of some of the projects that we have already conducted. So the video is much longer, but we don't have much time. So what is important for us in order to find co-production projects is the know-how that we can provide, thanks to that we are established in Europe since the last 30 years. For instance, we are very close to partners as football players or football teams as Barça or Real Madrid, and also actually in Lavinia's hometown in Barcelona, we are dealing with everyday operations in order for co-productions to come to Barcelona and find locations in which record their shooting. So that's in-house. Actually, the team that manages in Barcelona for that is in-house. So finally, there's just two things that we will apply under the 5G. Listen to our clients. A lot of things are going to happen with the 5G boosts. So we really don't know all the possibilities. I'm thinking on VR. I'm thinking on the new clients that are going to have access to live streaming. We really don't know at the moment everything that's going to happen. So we want to be very, very close to our clients in order to smell at the moment that the new things appear. Finally, of course, always learn. Reason why we are very thankful for Hainan Broadcast Group and Phoenix Television to have invited us here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Germán. It was very interesting and a beautiful presentation. Well, we're having the media forum regarding 5G convergence of media.
This question is to the gentleman from RT and also Belgium. Maybe a kind of dumb question. I'm not the expert in that area, but when you use this, the 360 or the new way of the mobile phone 5G, how good is the quality to compare with the best traditional with the tripod quality, especially for the documentary level? I know it might be kind of good for the YouTube, but how good it actually for the professional or the real level? Thank you.
5G is going to allow for the first time, given to its extremely low latency, it's going to be very reliable with one SIM card. It's expected to be very reliable with just one SIM card in order to make a live connection. So imagine, for instance, not for documentary, but imagine for sports, somehow it's already going to be possible for the first time making a multi-camera live transmission only with smartphones. That's going to boost everything. Also, it will allow, for live video, as far as I'm concerned, the low latency is the most important matter. But of course, at the same time, it's going to allow a huge increase of data transmission that 4G is not allowing. So you are going to be able, or that's what we expect, to broadcast in 4K, not in HD, but in 4K in real time. So that changes everything if you can do that just with a smartphone.
Thank you very much. Mr. Wood, yeah.
Just want to add the number. It's about 20 megabytes per second. So basically, it will be, as my colleague just said, you can transmit 4K, and 4K is enough for good quality.